Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the Eastside and Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya and anything you can do about it. Today with Coffee with Curry, we are now back from that season of a break, and we're going to concentrate on the National Men's Health Awareness Month. And what better way to start off our awareness is to have a African American brother, and well, it's two brothers in actuality, who own their own fitness club, and they're here to just share a little bit about their club. They're also here to share a little bit about, why it's important that we stay fit as African American men and men in general at large. So why don't you call somebody real quickly? Tell them Coffee with Curry is on, and let's get after it. Was that all right?
Good morning, Delaware and surrounding areas. You are now tuned in to this week's Coffee with Curry. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. with new guests every week. So grab your cup of coffee and join us on Coffee with Curry.
And we're back. Well, as I indicated to you all, that we have two brothers. One will be on this segment, and then we have another brother who's going to be on the second segment, who founded TNR Fit Club, and it's really amazing. But before, let me introduce you all to Charlie Todd, who is one of the founders and owner of R&T Fit Club. Uh, just tell me a little bit before we get into what you all do about you. Where were you born? Just let us know a little bit about you.
How's it going? I'm Charlie Todd. Pleasure to have me. Well, it's a pleasure. I'm glad to be here. I'm actually from Delaware, not too far, right down the road. Actually, Newcastle, Delaware, Oakmont neighborhood,
Okay,
yeah, right around the corner. So yeah, I'm not too far from here. Born and raised here. Born and raised in the church. Also, my background, just to touch on a little bit. Used to play football. Was very active in sports, and then after going to high school, went to a junior college in New York. Nassau Community College. Then from there, I went to um, Ball State, got a full scholarship to play football at Ball State in Indiana.
Mhm.
And then from there, I guess we can get right into it. So
Mhm.
so kind of bring on what got us involved into the
Sure,
to the business
sure,
itself.
sure.
Oh yeah. So after my college career, had hopes of obviously playing in the NFL because I was pretty good, did all right. After my pro day, had a very good day. So my brother, being like we pretty close out of all of our brothers, we got five of us total, but us two pretty close to each other. So hit him up, go home, say, well, I haven't got time to spend with him like at all. So I think I'm in Indiana.
Mhm.
So they came out maybe once or twice to a game. So outside of the games that were closer to the town. So long story short, come here. We decided to go out and party, go have fun, and enjoy life. We went to Philadelphia. At the end of the night, we was going to go get some cheesesteaks and was like I said, we was partying, drinking, doing stuff we shouldn't have been doing,
That's all right.
knowing that we shouldn't.
We all do.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, knowing we shouldn't have been doing. But I was walking alongside of the road. My brother tells me to get out the street, so I go. I'm going to the league, and I like got my. I played defensive back, and I got in the defensive back position and stance. And from there, I just remember waking up off the ground, got hit by a car.
Oh,
Oh yeah, so broke my fibia, fibbing my tib, both of my leg, and couldn't get up and just was knocked out. Come to find out, he told me I got flipped by a car, like, and it was yeah, was rushed to the hospital. Long story short, got the doctor told me how long it will be. That was devastating, how long it
yeah.
will be. But with me having high hopes and believing that I was going to make it to the NFL and believing that that was my calling,
Mhm.
I just pretty much got to work. Tried to get back into the gym immediately once I was cleared. Got to the weights, so
Mhm.
got into the gym, and I like keep in mind I'm a college athlete,
Mhm.
probably one of the strongest dudes on my team as a defensive back, and always been strong. And it just was like I said, going into the gym, it just was like it was ridiculous, and I ended up couldn't do anything that I was used to doing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I tried to do 135 pounds, which is a lot for some, but for a college athlete,
Right.
for the position that I played,
Yeah.
it's nothing for me. It shouldn't be. I was at that time I was squatting close to over 400 pounds, close to 500 pounds at the time. So you got to think. So I'm fresh out of there. So in my mind, I'm looking over my shoulder, like who looking at me, thinking like just all negative things, and I kind of a grasp of the feeling that I could see how people get when they're in the gym,
Right.
like just that who's worried about me?
Right.
Everybody's looking at me.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to be here. I
Right.
should be doing my own thing. Fast forward, we used to do something in college where we took resistance bands and crossed it across our body, and it pretty much allowed it so to work on speed and speed drills and things of that nature with the bands on stationary. So I was that was successful. I was able to do that successfully without hurting my leg because like you keep in mind, I couldn't do anything.
Right.
Couldn't push a sled.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much on my leg. Couldn't squat. It was too much on my leg. Couldn't pretty much do just about anything outside of resistance bands. So from there, I looked online trying to find stuff, and this is back in 2011.
Okay.
So I'm online trying to find like things that just work for what I'm trying to do. Stuff I can run in, resistance bands I can run in. Couldn't find anything. So I'm searching, and just literally couldn't find it. And I was like, you know what? It was kind of like chalked it up. Was sitting down watching TV, and then I said it's funny we in church. And like I said, I'm glad we was invited because I was born and raised in church.
Okay.
Always have a prayer life. My mom actually that night told me not to go out because she said something in her spirit telling me not to go out. Me and my brother was like,
yeah, that's
I
how
don't-
young.
yeah, should have listened, but God had other plans. Long story short, and I'm laying down on the couch. I mean, laying down on the bed watching TV, and I heard a voice go, draw it, and I literally hopped up, jumped out of bed, and got the sketch, and I got the sketches too. I'll try to send them to you. If I
Okay.
can.
Yes.
So I got the I said draw it, drew it, put it together, put a whole plan together. Called my brother immediately. Was like, yo man, I got this idea. And then I ended up sending him a whole pitch on exactly like the whole plan
Wow.
and everything. He was like, keep in mind, I already know my brother. Let's just say he's better with money than I am.
Okay. Okay.
So I knew he already had he has his whole game plan out from once he got out of college. He already had his plans on what he was doing in life. Like he was getting into real estate, doing. He already had it. Like
Right.
I knew this. Like I knew that I'm not. Like I said, I wasn't taking advantage of it. That's my brother. I already know I could call him. I was like, yo man, I got an idea. This is what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we should do. He said, let's do it. And sent me sent me money, and it's been rolling ever since.
You know, just a couple of things you said that really was fascinating. Number one, you found yourself in a car accident, or really you were hit by a car
Yes.
and tumbled over several times. Thank God for grace
Yeah.
and covering you.
Yes,
Your aspiration was to be in the NFL, but even not being able to find things to help you get stronger, you then turned. And that's what you're doing now.
Oh yeah.
You were able to, because I heard you say that you searched everywhere trying to get this, trying to get that, and then all of a sudden you start thinking of things, and then you sketched it all out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what really birthed your organization, what you do
The
now.
whole thing.
Wow.
So that was just the harness side of things.
Okay.
But that's just one piece of it.
Okay.
So now it's turned into, okay, how far could we take this?
Okay.
So I went from in-house at-home workout stuff and doing this for years. And then I'm in Indiana still at this time. So,
Oh, really?
So keep that in mind. So we're kind of like working from a distance together,
Okay.
but separate to the point that it's kind of like slowing us down. And like we're building traction, and we're like we're seeing progress, and we're seeing what it could be, but just us being separate, kind of like it just what it was. It slowed us down. I was doing things to keep it moving, like just running it. I quit my job, like after getting set. That's a funny story all on its own. I used to work in sales, so I was a car salesman. So developed skills in that, and was doing that for about 5 years,
Okay.
and then got to the point where I was like, man, if I can sell this, I can sell that like without no problem. So long story short, the sales were up at the time. As soon as I quit my job, like it just went.
Wow.
Like, and it was like a humbling experience when it's all said and done. Anyway, like I said, we talk about trusting God. It's easy to trust God when you got everything.
Wow,
you know?
that's a good sermon. Yeah, you got everything.
When you got everything,
Yeah.
it's very easy to put all your trust in God. But then, like I said, and it's funny. Like I said, I've been in the church all my life, so and I thought about like the story of Job and how he lost everything, but still got it back and still had faith, and still that didn't take him off of. And it's kind of like the same thing. I just continued to pray, and from things going left, and I was like, okay, I prayed. I said, I trust you. I believe you. Right. It can't get much worse. And it just continued like after that. Prayers went from why not this? Why not that? Why can't it's happening for him? Why can't it happen for me? To my prayers turning into just continue to order my steps. And from there, it was he called me up like, yo man, move. Like, come on. I was like, all right. And then I got talking to my wife, married at the time. So married with a kid at the time now, which is one. I got 2 kids now, and it was like she was on board. Like, let's go, move here, Once we
Yeah.
moved here, just everything
You're
started
saying
working
a
out.
whole lot of powerful things to a person who's watching, a grandmother, or even a brother who's watching, saying, "Look, life is not easy,
Mm.
but you got to be tough and you got to stick with it."
Yes, sir.
And as I'm listening to you, I'm letting you talk because you're sharing so many different nuggets from you, even convincing your brother, which to me is sometimes the hardest thing to
Yeah,
do is to convince family of a
yeah,
dream that you might have.
yeah,
And for him to be that connected to you, to say, you know what, while you may not be good with money, you're good at whatever you do.
yeah,
Car salesman.
yeah,
You didn't know what you wanted to be in NFL. You didn't want to be no car salesman, but you end up harnessing your skills
yeah.
to be able to get ready for what was to come.
Hmm.
Excellent. But this is just really good.
No.
How would you say that? Now, let's go back to your family a little bit because
Yeah,
this first segment I always like to get to know the person.
yeah,
We're gonna talk about your business a whole lot,
yeah.
but let's talk about your family. You said you have 2 children,
Yeah, I got 2 children. So I
boys, girl.
just had a baby girl. This past May, was it?
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, you got to ask. Okay.
yeah.
I hope nobody had to see the show.
I know she
You know that. But let me say this to you. If you really enjoyed your son, you had a son first, right?
yeah, my son
All
first.
right.
So,
Well, you will always enjoy your son because that's a
oh
little
yeah,
mini
he's
you.
my guy.
But this little daughter is going to be the one that's going to take your heart and
Yeah,
make
she-
you crazy. Yeah. But let me say this. And then you said you're married, or
yes, I am
okay?
married. I am married.
And your wife supported you.
Yeah, so
That's huge.
yeah, so we talk about that. Me and my brother had these conversations a
Yeah.
lot. Like I said, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Out of all of our family members, like we're literally like less than a year apart. Like
Okay.
so we're
Yeah.
we're real tight. So, but we talk about like because he's married as well. I'm sure you'll get to his story too as well. But we talk about like that family dynamic and what we look for when it was coming down to finding a wife
Mhm.
too as well. So my mom, it's kind of like not to backtrack too much, but
That's all right.
my mom was literally like what we not I don't want to say what we look for in a wife, but
It
the way
is.
she supported my dad,
Okay.
like and my dad is they're still married too as well.
Uh-huh.
So like they've been married for now 36 years now. So you got to look at that. We grew up watching
Okay.
what we would consider, what some people
Following.
wouldn't even
Yeah.
consider a successful marriage. Most people would probably divorce in a lot of the situations that my
Yeah.
parents went through,
Stick to it.
and we saw them stick it out like
Yes.
through
Yeah.
thick and thin and
Yeah.
make it work for not even just for us but for them as well.
Yeah.
So me seeing that kind of that's what I needed to find. So I got to see the mold on what a
Mhm.
wife should look like.
Mhm.
Like divorce is not an option.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
things of
Yeah.
that nature. So all of that stuff was when I was looking for my wife. Like these are all questions that
Mhm.
people I talked to. We got our staff there, younger men that fit, but they always ask us like questions about marital questions, like how do you do it? Like
Mhm.
especially today, what they said was like 50% of marriages in
Yeah.
divorce.
Divorce. That's right.
So they ask us what do we, I'm like for one, this may be biased, but if you ain't in the word, you shouldn't be considering getting married.
Excellent.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So that's one for me. And two, if she's not on, this is going to sound selfish too as well, but I needed somebody on my page and that not just being on my page, but my page is now her page. That makes sense.
Yes. And
So
you understand, I just want to help you because I know that we're living in this day where we have people who will fight you, the cancel culture.
yeah,
That women shouldn't be under you're not even going there. What you're
yeah,
saying is
I'm not.
you believe in you watched a father providing for his family, so therefore that's where
That's what I want.
you see yourself
Yeah.
as the provider.
Hmm.
So you needed someone who can be a part of the vision that God has given you.
Yes.
And I think that is, even though there are other people, other cultures who want to criticize that,
Hmm.
you in a safe space
Yeah.
with that, because I agree. I mean,
Mhm.
whether my wife work or not is not important
It's
to
not.
me,
Yeah.
because it becomes important that I provide for my family. That's
100%.
all you're really saying.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
it.
I see you trying to make sure that you don't say the wrong
Yeah, I'm
thing.
trying to.
Given the fact that you definitely have a business and you don't want
Oh,
people
yeah.
to be
Okay.
protesting.
Because it boils down to it. When it boils down to it, and this is why, because I knew what I wanted in life, and
Right.
I know that if I didn't find somebody who wanted what what I want out of a wife, if
Mhm.
they didn't want that out of themselves,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work. And it's just as simple
Absolutely.
as that. If I can't make someone who's super career driven and all of that stuff become a
Right.
house
Absolutely.
somebody who wants to.
That's why 50% of the marriages in a divorce,
Yeah.
because they don't do the research. They don't do the time.
Mhm.
And when you talk about your brother being able to handle money, it looks like your father and mother did a phenomenal
Mhm.
job of developing you how to plan.
Oh yeah.
Because that's proper planning.
Oh yeah.
You know, why get someone who just may have a pretty smile but
Mhm.
do not have the substance?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm with you on that one.
Oh,
That's awesome. So your wife was able to move with you. I mean, let's
yeah.
pack up. Let's do what we got to do.
Mhm.
And for those of you who are paying attention, this is what successful marriages is. He even made a comment, he alluded alluded to the fact that, some things that maybe mom and dad went through, other people just say, I'm done, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even about when you make the vow of, and this is not a counseling session, but when you make the vow of, for better or for worse, for richer or poor, sickness and do health and health, you're saying, God, I promise you,
Yep.
I'm gonna stick this thing out.
Yes.
So what you're saying is so true. Nobody wants to be a floor mat. Nobody wants to be treated wrong.
No.
But
No.
you stick things out because at the end of the day, it'll work out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I appreciate that so much. So now we move past the family, and I was gonna talk about a little bit about mom and dad, and you
Mhm.
did share that a little bit with us because the first segment, I just need them to know you,
Yeah.
and they got to know you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, many people come on the show and they'll say that they know the Lord, they know of the Lord, they know of God, but you're really kind of walking in it and showing it.
Mhm.
No, you were a young brother who was raised under faith. You grabbed hold to it at some
Yes,
point,
sir.
but you made your mistakes, and all of us did.
Oh, yeah.
All of us did. And but the mistake was not always that mistake, especially the one when you were out and you was partying.
Yeah.
That was divine driven, not so much the
Oh, yeah.
partying. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
please don't send me no letters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying God told him to drink. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But it was divine driven because you're gonna help people now that you
Mhm.
probably would not have been able to
Not at
help
all.
in the NFL.
And it's fun. Not that I know we get on we
Keep
short
going.
on time,
Mhm.
but it's funny because like I said, I'm born and raised in the church, so my mindset was, especially being a young adult, especially if any young adults are this is the time to like taking, because I used to have a mindset. I know God is the way. I know Jesus is the way. So when I turn X, Y, Z,
Mhm.
that's when I'm gonna start getting serious.
Mhm.
And that was always my mindset because keep in mind I'm thinking I'm going to the NFL.
Right.
So I wanted to live that, like party for a little bit
Right.
and then get closer to
Right.
God. And I was like, that was just simply my mindset.
Yeah.
I know it was wrong.
That's normal, sir.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know it was wrong.
Yeah.
But that was my mindset.
Right.
So we talked about it. Like I said, if I would have made it to the NFL, I really don't know
Yeah.
if that time would have ever came.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
like I said, because when we talked about this, it's easy. We just were saying it. It's easy to it's hard to truly trust and trust God when you have everything.
Amen.
If I have everything, there's no reason for me
Amen.
to go back and pray more and
Amen.
get more in the
Amen.
Word. I already got it. So
Amen. That's a very good segue for us to bring your brother in because I want to spend a little bit of time talking to him a little bit also about his life and about how he got to where he is. You've given him some great accolades.
yeah.
This is good for family. We just celebrated Father's Day last
Okay.
week, and we understanding, and my charge to men was to use your father power, which means all men.
Yeah.
We have a power, and to see a brother and a brother connected to the level that these two are connected, and the experience that they both have is just awesome. We are going to talk about men's health because guess what? The number one piece of men's health is mental. If you got it right mental, you will be able to survive everything else that happens in your life. So when we talk about health, let's not just think about physical. We also want to talk about mental. And that's really how we open up the first segment. We're going to come right back and we're going to have a conversation with Joseph Todd and see what he has to say as well. We'll be right back. Amen. And we're back. We had an opportunity to have a conversation with Charlie. Now we're going to turn to Joseph. And he said he don't mind me calling him Joe. Your brother gave you an outstanding compliment, said you're the one who managed money well.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think it comes with my name. My dad is very cheap. His name is Joseph. My name is Joseph. I don't want to say I'm cheap. I'm just very wise, and I'm careful about how I spend my money.
Yeah.
And then, like, just to be honest with you, where I get the idea of it comes with my name. I always study my name, even since I was a kid. And Joseph in the Bible was the person that Pharaoh put over, pretty much dispersing, collecting food.
Mhm.
You know the story, collecting food, taking 10% of everybody's and keeping it. So I've always been a person that wanted to
Absolutely.
save as much as I could save. I don't
Right.
believe in wasting.
Good job. Good job. After Joseph went through all he went through, then he put him in charge
Mhm.
to handle his money. Let me say this, Joe. Your brother gave a fascinating story.
Mhm.
Before I talk about how he was sharing, let's hear a little bit about you. You went off to college as well? Am I
Yes,
correct?
I graduated from Howard University.
Howard University, HBCU, very good. Your brother, he wanted to be an NFL person, so he went to the white schools. He didn't go to the black schools, but that's all right. But you don't want to know how to manage the money.
Mhm.
But let's tell me, look, where did you go to high school at here in
Well, I graduated from Howard High School in
Okay.
2004.
Okay.
And after that, I'm not gonna lie. So my journey to Howard University wasn't your traditional
Okay.
journey. I had to go to Lackawanna
Mhm.
first.
Mhm.
I don't really like shouting them out because I didn't have a great experience there.
That's all
But
right.
I went to Lackawanna for 2 years, graduated, and this is coming from a person with a 1.69 GPA in high school.
Mhm.
So I always thought I was dumb.
Mhm.
I don't want to say that. I always thought I was dumb until I actually got to college and had to learn. I just realized I never applied myself. But I went from Lackawanna for 2 years, then I went to Howard, and I graduated in about 2.5 years. I went a couple summers,
Okay.
but I figured it. I just figured it out.
Y'all are goal-driven people.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. I mean, you use that word dumb. No, it's lazy. Sometimes we're just
Yes.
lazy because there's no way in the world you can go to college and then be successful and you just were a little lazy and didn't push yourself. But and I want to change another word you use. You said cheap. No, you're frugal.
Yeah.
You just
Extremely.
you like to make sure that your money is spent wisely.
Yeah.
Real quickly, I am impressed with you believing in your younger brother to the level that you did, that you invested resources.
Mhm.
Help me out with your relationship and why would you do that?
Well, always, to be completely transparent, I always thought my brother was one of the most talented people I ever met.
Uh-huh.
Right. So I taught myself. So I self-taught myself how to work out. I'm gonna just use this for an example.
Okay.
He came along and like took it to another level.
Mhm.
I taught myself how to cut hair. I used to cut his hair at one point. He kind of took that
You
to
don't cut
another
your hair,
level.
do you?
I shave it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I don't go a day without shaving my hair. So yeah. So I like everything that I ever showed him, he would like take it beyond the level that I didn't think he could, especially with like cutting hair. He still cuts his own hair, but like it was like I watched him. I was always a church drummer, so I watched him learn how to play the drums, learn how to play the keyboard, learn how to play the guitar. Yeah, he didn't speak on those things. But, like,
Wow.
I literally watched this kid sit down and would hear a song and like maybe 20 minutes later be able to play it on the piano. The same thing with the guitar. And it was a joke because we used to watch Lil Wayne, who was a rapper,
Right.
taught himself how to play guitar, and I always tell my brother he looks like Lil Wayne.
Mhm.
But it was funny to watch. Like it's like people put you in categories of you can only do one thing. I'm talking about Lil Wayne, then it's like when they see you do something else, it was like kind of like wow.
Mhm.
So that was always when my brother was like, and I tell him to this day, he's the most talented person I ever met. Just genuine talent, can teach himself how to do something. I never met anybody like that.
You know, out of all the shows I've done, I'm gonna say it right now. This is the first time I've had a show where you felt true sincerity, no jealousy at all when speaking of someone else. I think there's a genuine love there.
Yeah,
As
I mean, we was raised different though. Like, so my dad, I think what plays a big part in our upbringing. My dad, when he had, I'm gonna say my brother David, he was homeless, right?
Mm.
So he had to move in with my mother. I don't even, still to this day, I don't know what made my mother want to talk to a homeless man, but
Mhm.
he was homeless. Not homeless without a goal, just life hit him hard, and he ended up living at the YMCA.
Mhm.
But one thing that I learned from my dad was work ethic, right?
Okay.
Work ethic and the value of family. So my dad was a product of a mother who was cheating. So imagine you're married to your wife, but you have your first child. You've been married for a year, and your first child came from another woman.
Yeah.
So that was my dad. So my dad was like, family was a big thing. And he was like, if y'all fight, all y'all better come on beat up, not one. So like that was like, it was like driven in us, like, yo, like this is your family, this is your family.
Right.
So we fought, bro. I actually never, he's the only brother I've never fought. But like we got in arguments and things of that nature growing up. But as far as like foundation of family, like, I mean, we're all like a year and some change apart. So it was like, I mean, jealousy, that's not even,
Yeah.
it wasn't part of
And
our
sometimes
upbringing.
people don't even notice the jealousy,
Mm.
but it is very pure here that there's a real genuine relationship. And I see the tightness. And matter of fact, thank you for helping us with even that last piece. You all decided to you told him to come back home, and let's do what you want to do. What drove you to do that?
The truth,
Yeah.
I was invested so much with the harness and it wasn't working the way I thought it should be working. So it's just money spent versus money earned. I looked at it like, well, we're trying to introduce a product that and these are kind of his words too. We're trying to introduce a product that no one is aware of. Like, so like we can put as many videos as we want out. We can create as much content we want online, but until we get like people to actually try it, it's like we're just guessing and like putting it out there, like who would benefit from it or who would want to do it. But when you actually open up a facility where people can use it every single day, and it's like I got the money saved up, and my dad was like, "Man, look, I'll even help y'all if y'all need anything." It's like, man, why not? So that's kind of where it went from. It's like I believe in their product because I truly believed it was God sent because it's nothing out here like it. And then our storyline, like I'm not big on storyline, but our storyline is like two brothers, both of us hungry for what we're trying to get in life. It doesn't make sense to not, pursue this and as hard as we could. And him living in Indiana, me living in Delaware, me working, to pay bills, really not happy with what I'm doing, and him unhappy with his situation, happy with what he's doing, but not happy with, how he's doing it because, business is a little slow because no one knows what we're the product even exists,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, made me say, all right, well, if you move home, I got money saved up. Let's open up a gym.
Excellent, excellent. Now, how did you, now you were married too, am I
Mhm.
correct? So how did your wife take
Mhm.
y'all deciding that y'all going to use some money?
The truth is this, right? So until I actually did it, it
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did it, I mean, and to this day, I hold it dear to my heart, and I'll never forget it. But that was my first time seeing my wife like cry to the point where there's nothing I can do about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I mean by nothing I can do about it, to that point, if she needed anything, I was able to provide financially, like no problem.
Mhm.
So to go from her going from that to a maybe,
Mhm.
I know it did something to her, but at the same time, it was like, Ashley, if I don't pursue this, I won't be a happy man.
Mm.
Because it's like I can literally vividly close my eyes and show. I can literally tell you like the dreams that I have, and it's like I listened to. I think it was Kevin Hart saying because he broke down crying at I think the Madison Square Garden, and he was talking about how when he imagined that happening, and then when it happened, it was like you pretty much can't tell him nothing. Now I don't know if Kevin Hart is spiritual. I could care less.
Mhm.
That's none of my business. But I truly believe, like my brother was saying earlier, like if God can do one for someone else,
Yeah,
He can do for me. And
absolutely.
your imagination to me is your future if you believe it.
Yeah,
So,
excellent, excellent. And I think that's just all. You have children as well.
yeah, I have a son, newborn, he's 6 months.
He's 6 months.
Yeah,
Now your
that's what he
brother
does.
beat you to having children,
Yeah, he got it. That's
but
fine.
and he also you got the boy. Now you got to get your girl. So don't stop, please
I don't
don't.
know, girl.
Oh, you don't want no girl? Yes, yes, you do. That'll be the soft
I
side.
won't even put that out there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want a girl. If I could have another child, I would prefer to be a boy, and then
Okay.
I'll be done.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're gonna see.
Now you're so younger.
And that's all right. I mean, you are in more ways than you think.
Yeah.
But let's we heard about the family, we heard about mom. Let's talk a couple minutes because I'm gonna bring your brother back and we're gonna end our show with him. But let's talk a little bit about the business now.
hmm
First, tell me the name, where you all are located at, and and then a little bit about the experience. I'm gonna go do the same thing with him because I want to make sure it's out there. It's out there. We got some videos we're gonna show them as well. But
hmm
tell us a little bit about the business.
So the gym is called TRFit Clubs, and people don't know this, but it stands for Total Resistance Fit Club. Because, like I said, my brother came up with a harness, and my part was to invest in it and get it everything legally and all of that stuff done. So, like, just to start over, it's called TR Fit Clubs, and we have two locations. We have one in Wilmington, 414 Mecco Drive, and the other one is
Say that again. You're doing it so fast.
I'm sorry.
And we're gonna have it on the screen, but say it again.
Yeah, 414 Mecco Drive. It's actually right off of Maryland Avenue.
Thank you.
The
Yeah. Okay.
industrial park back there.
Okay.
If you're not on time, you will not get in.
Oh.
But yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get into that though.
Okay.
So that's the first location. We actually outgrew. We were at 27 Brookside Drive. We outgrew it, the space. We outgrew it with members and with also with just vision.
Mm-hmm.
So we're no longer there, but we are right down the street, 414 Meckler Drive. And then the second location, we have a grand opening actually coming up July 8th for our second location, which is in Middletown, 117 Patriot Drive.
Okay.
It's in Middletown. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to just expand.
Yes.
So we have two locations for now.
Mhm.
God willing, we'll have more locations than I can count soon.
Yeah.
But just to explain, to go a little bit more into the business. So fitness is one of the things that nobody wants to do, but everybody wants to be in shape. I mean, that's really be honest. I don't know anybody who's just they can say they're happy, and I'm not saying that they're not, but you can say you're happy with being out of shape until you try to walk.
Yeah.
You try to do certain things
Right.
and you can't do it,
Right.
or your health starts declining,
Yes.
which is the worst thing because it's like what you do now will affect you later down the line. So, long story short, when my brother moved home, we were at 27 Brookside Drive. We pretty much had no idea what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Figured it out since then. But we practice what we preach. So every day I work out there. He works out there. I don't work out anywhere else. That's one thing. We trademarked a thing called 6 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably wonder what 6 and 1 is.
Yeah, I do.
So we try to teach and encourage everyone to eat 6 days clean and then one day enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying yourself went a little too overboard, so we kind of reeled that back to say 6 days clean, and then on that one day you earn yourself a cheat meal. Just speaking
Okay.
on some of the things we
Yes.
do inside the business. Our classes are about 48 minutes long.
Mhm.
It's power cardio core. My brother can really dive into that a little bit more than me, but power cardio core. So the first, it's broken down into three parts. The first part is the power portion. The second part is the cardio portion. And then the third part is the core portion. And every single thing we do, you have the harness on. I mean, we really believe in it. So it's like, you're gonna wear this harness, and we're gonna get as much as we can get out of you in this harness. And we like kind of, I don't want to say too much about competing because people take that the wrong way, but we put people with people that are like similar to them in
Okay.
size, speed,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
things of
That's
that
fair.
nature. So you might, so if you're going against, I'll just use me for example. You're going against me, or if I'm faster than you or something, you don't have to worry about that. We'll put you in a group with someone else because everything's broken in the group. It's all group fitness. It's all like encouraging, family oriented. What I mean by family is like when you come, it's like right now, my whole hour here, everybody's here encouraging you, like a family, a good family. Everybody's here encouraging you. Everybody's like motivating you and trying to make sure you're doing the right thing at all times.
Now, is it for younger, seasoned people, or is it everybody?
Everybody. So I'll say this: one of our oldest members, she comes. Shout out to Joy. She's around like 56. She doesn't miss a day.
56 is old.
I'm saying one of our oldest. Like,
Okay.
so when I say that, we have some
understand.
older, but somebody comes every single day.
Okay.
I want to say she's like 50. She's 50 something.
Okay. You said her name and her age,
Yeah.
you're gonna get in trouble, so you
Yeah,
just chill.
she's all right.
And so you're saying if I was to come, which I was encouraged by our director of outreach, she's telling me I need to go. I'll be paired with someone like. Okay, so you won't
similar fitness.
You won't put me in with you. You'll put me with another fat person.
No, not fat. No. I don't want to say fat. I will put you with another person who either is their first couple of times coming, getting acclimated.
Okay.
So we have people that like maybe just joined for a month, so they're trying to find their way. Those will be people you will most likely be grouped with.
And what is the main goal?
Change your life.
Change. So it's a life change, a lifestyle change.
Yeah, 601. We're big on changing your life. I mean, because anybody can lose weight. Anybody can. I'll just stick with the lose weight. Anybody can lose weight, but then what?
Okay.
And this is what we ask ourselves as a business every day. It's like, okay, you lost weight, and then what? Because I've been working out since I was 14. I've been working out since I was 14. So,
Okay.
like legitimately, I might have took 2 weeks off since I was 14.
Okay.
So I've worked out. This has been a big part of my life every day. And so if you want to make something a part of your lifestyle, that's what you got to do. Like you said something earlier. I don't know if you knew I was listening, but you said something about it's part of your routine. So like nobody has to wake you up to study. Nobody has to wake you up to read your Bible. Nobody has to wake you up to do these routine things you have in your day.
Right.
We're just trying to make fitness a part of your routine.
That's excellent. And we are celebrating and we're highlighting men's health awareness. And I closed the last segment with sharing that the mental piece is the major part of it. Because if you can get into the routine, if you can get into doing what you have to do, and I love the fact that you changed it from 6 days of doing what is right and 1 day just do what you want to do. You change it to just one meal because all of that matters. Because I'm in a zone now where I lost the weight. I got a little bit more I want to do, but it was because I had a scare. I thought that they thought I had sugar, and I don't want I never. And I had my daughter when I was later in life, so I never wanted to have her taking care of a sickly father or a sickly mother. So we try to keep our health up. But now, what do? I done lost the weight. I go to the gym at least 2 times a week. Sometimes I go 3. I'm in a routine of what I do, but I think this is something I'm gonna be interested in. I mean, and the reason why I say that, because even though Denisha was saying that I need to go, she probably thinks I'm fat. Not that she's skinny, but she probably thinking I'm fat. But I think this is something that could probably be a nice class because I'm a lifetime learner. So this could be an opportunity. Okay, what was it? 1 day a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week? How does it go?
We have 5 days a week. We have 7.
Oh, you have to go in 5 days a week.
No, we have more packages. You can come 5 days a week, but we have 4 different packages. We have actually probably more than that, but 4 different packages that we highlight the most on our website.
Okay.
Coming 3 days a week, 1 day,
website.
2 days a week.
Okay.
TRFitclubs.com. So TRFIT clubs with an S.com.
Okay, and that's going to be on our screen as well because I want people to go right away, look at it and start overloading you so you can open up your 3rd location, your 4th, your 5th, and your 6th. And I really hope you really do. Listen, Joe, it has been a joy having you on here today. I was shocked that you just came in. You did just better. You did, matter of fact, better than your brother. I ain't gonna tell him I said that, but you did better than him when it comes down to really just giving the heart of it and explain a little bit about the business side of it. And y'all are like, I call y'all Siamese twins. I had to ask them earlier in the show, not in the show, but before we went on channel, y'all twins, because very seldom you see brothers disconnected. It's a joy and it's an honor to see this.
Really don't have a choice. And what I mean by that is, and this is not saying it like, just follow what I'm saying. So when I'm older than him, right? And I think I'm a pretty good leader. So watching my brother, making sure my brother, like, seeing what an older brother should move like was I don't want to say challenging, but it had its challenges, right?
Mhm.
So when I was young, I'm gonna say 13, 14, I started like experimenting with, I don't want to say drugs, but like I started smoking,
Mhm.
drinking, things of that nature. And I remember when I was younger, he would want to hang out with me, and I'm like,
Mm.
nah, because the way I'm living, like
Okay.
if you were like he was always sports, keyboard, drums, things of that nature in church, but majority of his upbringing was like sports. So I'm like, I don't want to mess up this man's innocence because my innocence was
Okay.
disrupted. It
Okay.
was disturbed by people that I probably shouldn't have been hanging out
Okay.
with.
Good.
So I know like deep
Good.
down it was like really wasn't beneficial for the things I was doing, especially for him to, latch to that side. And I'm talking about a guy who literally it was so annoying. Like, I don't want to play football all day.
Mhm.
I don't want to wrestle all day. I don't want to play all day. But like that's the difference between me and him. But I say that to say this: when I was younger, I would always say like, and I don't even know where this came from, but I always, well, I say God, but when I was younger, I always knew I wasn't going to have your typical lifestyle. So forget the money, forget all of that. My thing was I'm not working for anybody, whether
Mm.
it's being
I
self-employed,
like that.
entrepreneur.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what that looked like,
Mhm.
but it was like from a young age,
Mhm.
like I would voice like verbally voice this
Mhm.
to them, and then him being my younger brother, not saying copycatting, but more like you learn from what you're exposed to. So
Absolutely.
I'm listening to me saying it all the time. I'm sure it kind of drove him to want the same. Now it didn't happen as fast as we wanted it to,
Okay.
but I mean it would make no sense for us not to do it together. When when I first originally started working out, he started working out with me. He got strong. Like like you talking about when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, I self-taught myself how to work out and not so much taught him, but taught him to focus on different exercises because he was a curls and chest and just squat guy.
Mm.
I'm not saying that he didn't want to deadlift and do shoulders and things of that nature, but I just don't think he was like it wasn't in his mind. Where
Mhm.
me, I was always into lifting weights. I always wanted to be the strongest person in the room.
Mhm.
That wasn't his goal. His goal was to be able to take off his shirt and look good. So we just combined our goals because like and that's power in that just alone. Like so because everybody's not gonna have the same goals. And we kind of learned that through opening gyms. Like my goal might be to be stronger, your goal might be to be lean. So just the fact that we even have that
Mhm.
difference, like people come to me to lose weight because I've lost a lot of weight before, and they go to him to, resculpt their body. So it just works, man.
Great.
It doesn't make sense how it works, but it works.
Now, do y'all have personalized training as well?
No,
Okay.
it's
Is it
it's
class?
going to feel like personalized training though because
Oh,
we have on each shift we have about a good 3 to 4 coaches there to assist you throughout the entire
excellent.
work.
This is really, and it lasts about an hour
hmm
per class.
hmm
How's it working for you? Do you feel financially you're comfortable?
mm I'm never going to be comfortable.
No, no, no. I'm not saying that you at your peak. No, no, because you went over to the gym. I'm saying, do you feel like it was worth the wait?
Yes, definitely. But I'll tell you what, man. It's a quick story. I told my brother this literally yesterday. Uh, you ask God for something, He's going to give it to you, right? But it's never the way I imagined it.
Mm.
So I asked God for like different things in my life to help me with business. Because you said, "Are you comfortable?" And this is the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my life.
Mhm.
But it's the happiest I've ever been in my life. So
And that
give
is
it
the
to
comfortability.
Yep.
I understand what you're saying.
Yep.
I understand what you're saying. Listen, Joe, it has been a joy to meet you. I'm going to figure out when I'm going to join in. I'm gonna make a promise
Take
that
your
I'm gonna
time.
make it happen. No, no, I ain't gonna take my time.
I'm just saying it's no
But
rush.
but
Be
but
there.
I want to make it happen because I think that's gonna help me in some areas that I'm looking forward to. And I hope those of you who are watching will definitely get a play. Let's go to that website real quick before you leave us. Tell us the website one more time.
www.trfitclubs.com or www.thetotalresistance.com.
All right. And do you have a phone number?
Yes, 302-482-1200. I hope I said it right.
Okay,
Or
great.
it's
Well, it's gonna be right on the
4822.
screen.
Yeah, we'll put
It's
it on
gonna
the
be right on the screen. But we really appreciate you so much, Joey. Listen, it was a good joy
screen.
having you
Yes,
with
man.
us.
I appreciate you,
All
man.
right, we'll be right back.
All righty.
That was
I
good.
said the wrong number.
And we're back. Well, it has been truly remarkable. Brother, open up a business, doing well, had some hardships in trying to get to where they are today. Now getting ready to open up a second location. That is the American story, and I'm grateful for that. Now, your brother, he left too soon. I wanted to ask him, and maybe you can help me. Um, he said that he did a lot of things. Did he play sports?
Yeah, so he's one of the reasons I got into
Oh,
serious into football.
okay.
Yeah, I think my dad played football. He was a two-time All-Stater, All-American, and obviously we want to do better than him.
Right, right.
So he, Joe Jr., two-time All-Stater, which is funny. We were only a year apart, but he was a senior, I was a freshman, which makes absolutely no sense. My mom, he was so big.
Birthdays.
Yeah, he was so big. My
Oh,
mom started him in school early, December birthday.
okay.
But my mom started him. He graduated at 17, so he played football his senior year at 16,
Wow.
which I played my senior year at 18. Like I
Okay.
graduated at 18.
Okay.
So it's like we were technically supposed to play like 3 years together, which
Okay.
it made no, like I said, this made no sense. But Joe, granted, keep that in mind. He's younger than everyone on the field.
Right.
He's literally the age of a sophomore as a senior,
Okay.
and like he probably still hold records to this day.
Wow.
Like at Howard, he was two-time All-Stater. Junior year took the team to a championship. Senior year, he got to play with me, and we kind of took their record down.
Okay.
But we still was showing like progress. But long story short, I always tell this story about Joe just to kind of explain how good he is, how good he was when he played. Well, it was like I always compare like a Kobe and Shaq type of thing.
Okay.
So he was more like just Shaq, like you couldn't do nothing. And you could know the play, it didn't matter. So as one of our coaches named Coach Brown, Joe's on the field and they run a blitz play. Joe runs in, immediately sacks the quarterback, like just like that. So he stands up. He goes, "Hey, Coach Brown!" This is like on there. They ain't even huddle up yet. Coach Brown, do it again. They both jumping up and down. Do it, do it, do it. Like they was cursing at the time. Like do it again, do it again. 3 times in a row. Ran
Okay.
the same play, 3 and out, just
Wow.
like that. So like it was just an unfair like dominance. Like because so speaking of the lifting thing,
Mhm.
like when it comes down to exercising, he was stronger than like to this day. I don't know anybody naturally stronger than Jones, than my
Okay.
brother at the time. Now he lost a lot of that now after losing weight and obviously not caring to lift that kind of weight anymore.
Mhm.
But for example, I sent him one day. This was when I was in Indiana. I
Okay.
sent him me bench pressing 315 for like 15 reps. He sends me a video back doing it like 25 times, like
Wow.
and like laughing,
Yeah.
so it was kind of like that. And on the field, it just showed it. Like he should have went a lot further, but we once again it was like a disconnect on what school, the importance of school,
Yeah.
being a student athlete was rather than being an athletic student. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Yes,
yeah.
I do. I think that's awesome, and y'all two complement each other very well. Do you ever feel? And we're gonna get to your business, but I'm just
No, no, no,
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to bring you back on just
yeah,
a regular thing to help me with encouraging brothers.
yeah.
But do you ever feel that you're gonna ever outlive the little brother?
I,
He's the big brother.
I
You're
did
the little
already.
brother.
I did already.
You did?
Yeah.
How?
Outlived the
I
like
mean,
the
in other words, right now you're still the little brother.
yeah, yeah.
Will you ever become the big brother?
No, no, that's almost impossible.
Okay.
Like because just in respect from me, you know what I mean. So
Okay.
like I would never. Um, if I get to a point where I don't look to him for like his opinion, his advice, then it kind of takes away from what
Excellent.
made us get to where we are, and it's kind
Yeah.
of like a putting God first type of thing, and it's a humbling
Right.
type of thing. If I ever get to that point where I know something's wrong with me, not him.
Wow, that's excellent. That boy, y'all are good.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back and talk about men health another day because this show has been really good and what we're doing. But he said a couple of things. I got to get to your business, but he said something about guitar,
Yeah.
keyboard,
I'll
drum.
start with the keyboard first. So my sister played the keyboard, and she was terrible. But she was like a scale queen. She did the
Okay,
scale, and she just ended up giving me her piano. And
okay,
Joe was playing the drums since like we was in church. So from
okay,
jump, he was playing the piano. I mean, he's playing the drums. So obviously, I knew I wasn't going to be able to play the drums because he's there. So I'm gonna just play the keyboard. And then
okay,
my oldest brother, another brother, he had a guitar. He was playing guitar, so he sucked. And it
oh,
was kind of like kind of same thing. So I just kind of picked it up from there.
okay.
And taught myself
Do
but
you
kind of
do
like
any
you
of?
see drumline.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of like that.
Okay, I
It
got you.
was kind of like that. Like
Yeah.
how
Now, do you do any of that now?
I try to. I
I mean,
try
you
to.
own your own business,
Yeah,
and like especially the guitar. How do you? Because people like Isaiah Fair needs a
yeah,
guitar player for real.
yeah. I'm okay
What
on the
they're
guitar.
looking for.
I'm not great on the
Okay, we got
guitar.
a good drummer, so I
Yeah,
can't mess with the drummer. But I threw that out there because when
yeah,
he said, I was like, oh wow,
yeah,
that's great. But it's the overall thing is that he's talked about you being self-taught, and that
yeah,
was just the powerful piece of the
yeah.
whole thing. And we're really grateful for that. Let's jump because we don't have a lot of time left. Let's go back to the organization.
Mm.
You did a lot of things with it. Your brother had an opportunity to share with us, how to get in contact with you all. But I hear a lot about the harness, and I want to just tell me a little bit about it and show me whatever you have.
So I'll just kind of give the top part of it, and I'll try to send a video too as well to kind of go with
Yes.
it. But it's a one size fits all harness that allows you to add resistance to your workout. So you got to think when we first came up with it, it was from focus more on legs
Right.
because I was trying to get trying to recover. So from there, it went to, okay, what else can we do with it? No point in having a full harness if we're not going to use it. So it went from, can we do push-ups with it? Can we do tricep extensions with it? And for those that are kind of new to fitness, those are all exercises, upper body exercises. So instead of making it just about doing legs, tried to find ways to implement it in every single thing. So ultimately, this now can replace an at-home gym. So
Oh, wow.
so for example, an at-home gym is you could spend a pretty penny. Yeah.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
said
I don't use none of it, but I guess.
you got one. But over time, if you're trying to get everything
Right.
that you need to look the way you want to look, it can get expensive, and this allows it so it all fits into a pretty much a 8 to 10 pound bag full of resistance bands and just a harness that fits. And it's also another thing. So as you start to trim down, it adjusts and it's kind of goal driven on its own
Now, do
as
you
well.
purchase that, or do y'all just have that at your gym?
So we do have it available for as like a rental, kind of like bowling shoes.
Okay.
So like you can go in and rent your bowling shoes, but people who bowl all the time, they have their own shoes, they have their own ball, it's kind of like that.
And you can buy, and we can buy this.
Mhm.
This
Right, right.
your product.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We
that's
own it. We own the
important.
patent. We own all that.
So if I was to come in and do a couple sessions, which I'm going to do, regardless, I want to know the experience,
Yeah.
and I decide, you know what, I can do this at home.
Yep.
I would purchase that. About how much does that cost?
This is $189.99
Okay.
for the grand opening. We're actually having a sale too as well. Not sure off the top of my head, so I don't
Okay.
want to
You
quote
don't have a sale at the grand opening?
at the grand opening.
I'll make sure I get to the
Yeah,
grand.
perfect. Yeah, yeah. So we'll have a sale for it on the day of the grand opening, and we always compare it to sneakers. You wear sneakers, every so often people spending $200-300
Right.
for something to look good.
Yeah.
This is exactly that, something to help you look good.
Yeah. Look good, feel good,
Yeah.
and be good.
Be good. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And now it also comes with other things, or just
yeah.
that? Is it just that?
So it's the harness,
Uh-huh.
foot straps, it got hand straps, and it's got resistance bands for just about every exercise. So legs, be able to do curls. Like I said, I'm gonna send some videos so you can kind of get a
Yeah.
snippet and an idea of what I'm talking about. But you can literally run in these in the harness. You can stay stationary. There's bands to adjust for lighter for beginners and people that are more experienced. So it's pretty much literally a one size fits all and can literally replace a gym like without question.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to this
Oh, yeah.
experience. Now, tell us again. There are different, I'm sure there's different fees.
Mhm.
To get in to just do a basic class, where do your services start and go up to about? We don't want to give you
Okay.
specific prices.
Yep. So if you want to do a drop-ins are $15 right now. We're doing for $7.50. Cut it in half. You can do your first class for $7.50. You won't have to do nothing crazy. All you do is go right on the website www.trfitclubs.com. When you go to book your class and your time, it's all accessible. Book your class and your time, and it'll prompt you to do all the other stuff. But if you want to join after you do a drop-in fee, and experience the class for yourself, understand what you're getting yourself into, you can pick your classes from there. And our memberships range from anywhere from $45.99 a month or $130 a month. Keep in mind, it's not your typical gym. You're never walking in not knowing what to do. We're pretty much taking all the know-how, all the thought process completely off the table. All you have to do is show up, and we got you.
Wow. That sounds, and this is a hidden secret, because until it was brought to my attention, I knew nothing about
Yeah.
it. So we got to make sure you get out there a little bit more
Yes,
to
sir.
really understand it. So you're saying if I go, I don't have to feel like a stranger,
Mhm.
because I'm coming in and y'all will tell me, do this, just as long as I have the attitude of I'm willing to do.
Mhm. One of the biggest issues, and like I said, my brother kind of touched on it a little bit. He was saying that everybody wants to be in shape, but you just don't want to go through that process. But one of the hardest parts is finding out what that process is,
Mhm.
and that's where we pretty much come into play. Like you said, we got every single day. You know what you're getting into: power, cardio, core. It's broken down based off of science, based off of our knowledge, based off of experience. You got people that have already done and proven it to work. All you got to do is show up and fall in line. And if you're eating right and doing what you're supposed to do outside of the gym, everything that you're saying you want will happen.
Tell us a little bit about that while we got some time,
Mhm.
because when you said that it hit me, so that means not only do we need to work out appropriately,
Mhm.
but the eating part, because I didn't get a chance to jump in that when your brother talked about it earlier. So what is eating right?
So, so to touch on the diet, so everyone looks at certain things as a diet, looking at fast, like the Daniel fast, especially in churches, is a big thing. But then everybody goes right back to their normal eating and put all the size and the weight right back on. So a good diet will reveal what you're supposed to look like. So it's not necessarily a weight loss diet. It's not necessarily I want to hurry up and do. the point and purpose of eating a certain way is something that you can have longevity. That you won't have to go back and forth. You won't have to cut this. You won't have to cut that. You can do this consistently, and you'll look the way you want to look. So that's with 6 and 1. That's our goal, is to find what works for you. Like that's those 6 days, you're finding what works for you. So for me, for example, I do more of a carnivore, animal-based diet, which is a lot of meat and a little fruit.
And
So
a little fruit?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's me.
Okay.
Yeah, some people, like a lot of the other trainers that are at the gym, they do more of a contemporary diet, which is meat, carb, and vegetable. Like it's real simple. So it's just finding what works best for you. So for me, for example, why I found the diet that I stick to and live by, it's just easy to follow. One, I'm not eating the processed stuff, and we can touch on that real quick. So a lot of people's issue isn't the know what to eat. It's just the simple fact that the foods that we have today in the stores is just ridiculous. It's like everything is designed. If it has shelf life of a year, you probably shouldn't be eating it. You know what I mean? Heard a doctor say, if it doesn't decay, throw it away. Dr. Palmer said, if it doesn't decay, throw it away. And that stuck with me for a long time. And I started thinking about that. You got like the Doritos, go to a grocery store right now. You go in there, you'll see 10% vegetables here, about 10% meat back there, and then the rest is shelves full of stuff we should not even remotely consider consuming. All in bags, all in stuff. If you put it in your house and forget about it for a year, it looks the exact same way it was when you purchased it the day. You know what I mean? So we should not be eating that, but we do. And once again, that's what those 1 days do. The 6 and then the 1, have at it. You know what I mean? Have at it. But if you're eating that stuff every single day, it's literally poison. So it's literally poison. And you think about all the health issues. Like you say, you think you had the sugar. Like that's probably where that's from. Like you're not intentionally not eating the way you're supposed to eat. It's too convenient. You drive across the street, McDonald's. You got Wendy's $5 bags. You got and keep in mind, my son loves that. So and I'm a victim of it too as well. Not a victim, but I take advantage of it too as well here and there. But those other days, even my son, those 6 days out the week, at least 5 to 6 days out the week, he's eating what I'm eating. Like, and it's kind of like that. So it's okay to reward yourself, but that should not be the number one consumption of your of what we're bringing in, and that's what's hurting us. That's what's killing us.
Wow, this is awesome. So what fits you? Now you'll be able to tell me or whomever come in what would be the best for them based on what we share.
So perfect. So right now we have it set up so for our gym in particular, that you're immediately getting assigned. Once you become a member, you're immediately assigned a coach. So that coach is not only tracking your progress, making sure you're weighing in with them, checking in with them, but they're monitoring what you eat. So you're literally tracking the food that you're supposed to eat. So they're going to find out, for example, so your first month, you go a whole month of eating according to the plan that we got for you, and it's not working. It's common sense. If you're tracking the whole time, we'll be able to see it and go, okay, change this. You don't need to be doing this, don't need to be doing that, and make adjustments there. That's why I say that the one-on-one, everybody thinks of one-on-one and nutritionists and all that stuff. You're getting all of that just by joining, just by coming in for like a low price. Like I said, it's
very low
in comparison to one-on-one training. You're anywhere from $25 to $50 per session.
50.
Yeah.
And you may go to the top part after
30
your
minutes.
membership.
Yeah.
After your membership.
After your membership.
Yeah.
After your membership. So that's a 30-minute session.
Yeah.
And then they're going, okay, now go hit that treadmill. No, you're getting it all here. You're going to get it all. And if you get unlimited, you can come twice a day if you want. I don't recommend that, but you can if you want to. If you feel like you need to come pump iron a little bit more, but you can do it. But what I'm getting to is having that accountability is where we lack. And that's will help us break the bad habits that we built over time and over the years.
Now, while you were talking, I was thinking, can we, because we're out of time, but can we, if we wanted you to come here to one, we have a gym over there. Have you seen our gym?
I check it out.
Make sure Miss, who told me I was fat, I forgot her name just that fast. Make sure she show you our wholeness fitness, because we have a wholeness center.
Sounds good.
And the whole goal is to be whole, and whether it be physically, mentally, and spiritually. And if we decided, we want you and your brother, or you and some coaches, or not, just your organization, to come in, do you do those type of things?
Yes, sir.
And because sometimes it's a convenience issue.
Yeah.
So if we said, I'm just doing this as a general.
No, I got you.
Easy and Fair would like for you to come once a week for an hour. You can tell a price if we get how many people are going to be here.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something. And for those of you churches that are watching, and not only churches, organizations, sometimes bringing people to you is just as good because what they have at the gym is their facility.
Yeah.
But it seems like you can travel with
Oh, yeah.
what you have
Question
just as
about it.
easy. So I mean, matter of fact, I'm gonna put that in there too. I'm still coming to see y'all
Yeah.
facility because I really want to be there and I really want to be a part of that. Especially since I'm at this place now where I done lost the weight. But what's next?
Exactly.
But you don't tell me what's next. That means I'm gonna go back to eating what I used to eat and
Yeah, it
get back
happens.
fat again.
And it's like I said, it's unfortunate, but that's literally
Yeah.
it's we set weight goals. So say I want to lose 10 pounds. When I get to that 10 pounds,
Mhm.
I did it.
Okay.
I'm ready to celebrate. And most people, you see this when people go to travel. They hit the gym heavy.
Mm.
Then you see them post their travel pictures,
Mm.
and then you stop seeing those workout pictures,
Mhm.
those workout photos, because they already accomplished what they wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
They did it for the reason they want to do it.
Yeah.
And with us, our community, we don't look at health as what it should be. It's a part of your daily routine. It's a part of your life, rather than being something to, okay, I need to get this dress on. I need to be able to fit my pants. I got this event going on. No, this should be a part of you every single day.
Mhm.
It should be just like waking up, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, all of that stuff, because it adds life to you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It keeps you alive,
It
keeps you
does.
moving.
It does, man. It's been a joy having you here. I'm sorry we out of time. One more time, give us the website that we can go to and get your information.
www.thetrfit. That's it. The TRFit. TRFitclubs.com. Find us on Instagram. The Total Resistance. No, sorry. TRFit Clubs. That we changed all our stuff. You can't tell. We keep going back and forth. But you can find us on Instagram. TRFit Clubs with an S as well. My personal Instagram, The Bandman. THEBANDMAN 16. And then Joe's Instagram also, Let's Go Joe, just like it's spelled. Let's go, then Joe. Yeah, those.
Well, that's good. And we're gonna have all that on the screen, so you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
And you can always call the church if you did not get their phone number or whatever way of contacting them. We're gonna make sure. And when we bring them here, we're going to do it. We're very big with this community. We want this community to be able to enjoy life.
Yes, sir.
When we bring them here, I want to make sure that we announce it, and it will be, some little small fee, but we'll absorb the fee that it needs to have in order to bring this here. We were going to, and I'm gonna let you go. We were going to bring Chick-fil-A here. We had already had everything set up, but we realized that Chick-fil-A would not allow us to decide where we're to go. So they said they wasn't coming to South Bridge, and we end up
Oh, really?
closing out the deal and said we don't want it.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was available was a McDonald's, and we said we're not doing it
Yeah.
because at some point we got to start thinking healthy, eating healthy, and being healthy. Listen, it was a joy having you with me, and I appreciate you, my brother. Stay right there for a second. We'll be right back. And we're back. Look, time was really not on our side today. This was an outstanding show. We have been gone for a couple of weeks, and we weren't able to really do any of the coffee with curries. But I want to thank Brother Joe and Brother Charlie for coming. They have really given us a total perspective of being healthy. Healthy in relationship, healthy with their physical being, healthy in their relationships. All of that matters. So I want to thank them so much for taking the time out. And when they come to do some classes here at Zion Fair, I want to make sure I let you all know so that you can join in. But don't wait for us. Get on that website. Get on the phone. Call them. Schedule. Get there. Why? Because if you're healthy today, you can live tomorrow. That was not one of their quotes, but that's something I truly do believe. If you are healthy today, you can live tomorrow. I'm going to go down and I might even video me not doing what I do because y'all may laugh at me, but I will definitely be videoing when we go down so that we can show that we are really committed to life. Listen, this is Dr. Curry. Until next time we get together, may the Lord God bless you real good.